point actually gives you the capability of having a gunship. The B point will allow you to sit there and have the tomahawk, and I believe D may stand corrected, but it's a type of scan. I think it's an infantry scan.
And as you can see right in front of you guys, the skyscraper is going to be coming down. Levolution at its finest. And now this is really going to affect gameplay, folks, because this is going to, I guess you can block the vision of the pilots. So you can actually see all this dust coming up.
Right, you see all the debris that happens. Again, so one of the things that you're going to notice here, again, the C flag, the C point was up on top of the skyscraper. And after knocking out the 4 pillars, they're all pretty well identified. So for those of you that are kind of questioning what exactly it is, there's 4 pillars that are on the outside, kind of harbor side, that you can spot and you can take out pretty quickly there. And that's exactly what we saw there. He got knocked down the skyscraper, and then from that point, that actually shifted the C flag down towards the lower side. And right there, I mean, what we saw throughout the game, point actually gives you the capability of having a gunship. The B point will allow you to sit there and have the tomahawk, and I believe D may stand corrected, but it's a type of scan. I think it's an infantry scan.
And as you can see right in front of you guys, the skyscraper is going to be coming down. Levolution at its finest. And now this is really going to affect gameplay, folks, because this is going to, I guess you can block the vision of the pilots. So you can actually see all this dust coming up.
Right, you see all the debris that happens. Again, so one of the things that you're going to notice here, again, the C flag, the C point was up on top of the skyscraper. And after knocking out the 4 pillars, they're all pretty well identified. So for those of you that are kind of questioning what exactly it is, there's 4 pillars that are on the outside, kind of harbor side, that you can spot and you can take out pretty quickly there. And that's exactly what we saw there. He got knocked down the skyscraper, and then from that point, that actually shifted the C flag down towards the lower side. And right there, I mean, what we saw throughout.
Disagree. So we are looking here at gameplay right now, and I believe, you know, the cool part that I'm loving here, you know, you had mentioned it before, the Levolution, right? That has been a big point of interest for a lot of players. What does that mean to the audience? And, you know, for people who are just tuning in, what is Levolution?
So Levolution is a concept that we're, you know, combining a lot of the things that we've had in the past and adding a lot of new stuff that creates a dynamic and living environment where players actually not only affect the gameplay by, you know, how they fight together, but they also use the environments to fight. We can see, you know, examples of you know, big things and small things where people, you know, when they take down the big skyscraper, that's of course a very big moment. But you see the bollards, for instance, that you can use to prevent tanks from crossing bridges, where the tank driver then needs to get out of the tank to deactivate those. So you create a lot of drama by, you know, destruction on these walls. We have fire extinguishers that you can take out, and they explode and create a smoke screen, which is awesome. We have like metal detectors down in some of the stores in the Galleria, and they're also down in the subway, where if you pass them, you can actually hear that someone is in the area. So there's everything from really small things to really big things that actually spices things up and create a dynamic and very living environment.
And as we see right here, once again, hopping back to some chopper gameplay, we saw some tank action as well. But Alpha 2 here is just tearing it apart right now.
Really good chopper pilot.
And I'm actually quite surprised too, because these are just people who are coming from the convention floor. They're not, you know, doing anything. They're not like, well, some of them are diehard Battlefield fans, without a doubt. But I think the cool part is just Joes that are playing the game and having a blast. So I do want to ask you a little bit about the various forms of combat.
He's going for C now. This is interesting. He will try to tear them down. This is really cool.
So he's trying to take them down from the top
from the
here.
chopper. They thought they were safe because they're at the top of the building.
But you're never
not
safe
so much.
So and that brings me back to the thing I want to talk about, which is the various forms of combat. You know, infantry base, vehicle base, as well as the air, you know, naval, all that stuff. I mean, only in Battlefield can you get that kind of experience, but how difficult is it to, I guess you could say, balance that out in a sense, you know, and when presenting it to people out there and saying, hey, listen, you can do all these amazing things, what are the initial reactions of people who may never played Battlefield before?
I think that's the great thing about Battlefield, that you can play it in so many different ways. So it doesn't really matter who you are as a player. You can always find your role on the battlefield. Either you're just playing as a supportive person where you help your team to win, or you can be a very offensive person to go hardcore lone wolf, full infantry action. But you can also be a dedicated chopper pilot like this guy, who's apparently he's never giving up. Apparently,
never give up, never surrender.
We have very dedicated tank drivers. We have dedicated, we're adding a lot of boats to the game now, ships and boats. So people will get very good at that as well. And then on top of that, we're adding commander mode, which means that you have a strategic layer on top of the whole game, where people can actually take care of the full team and help them and give them assets and provide support for the team. You see the bollards are up here. Yeah, they cut back. So just looking at how we toggle between players, we can see that all of them are playing the game in a slightly different way, which is exactly what the game is designed to be.
Yeah, I mean, as you cycle through the players, you saw there was tank action, there was some helicopter pilots, there was a lot of infantry, which is what I like to do. I like to get down on the ground pound, and rush the objective, push the objective. That's what I'm all about. So, and look at this here, actually, is one player. He's at the top of the skyscraper here, and this is a cool thing, right? Because in the last match we saw, this skyscraper did not last very long.
Okay.
It was taken down quite quickly, and that guy went jumping off the building. That's awesome. You can parachute. So that adds another element of just gameplay, because that elevated, right? Now it's elevated. It's not brought down, but when it's brought down, though, then the sea territory becomes, the sea flag becomes a much different area. And now when I guess, developing this game, the DICE guys and all that, what was the theory behind the Levolution? Like, why do this? Why change the map? Why reinvent the wheel?
I think it lies in the nature of Battlefield, that you want the environment. Games tradition has been very static and very stale, and the gameplay has been kind of suffering from that, because you can easily lock down a map if you know exactly how it's going to play and what it's going to be about. But if you add these layers, the Levolution layers with destruction and different variables that changes the map and changes the environment. Players can actually use that in a very tactical way. So it's not only for drama and make the game look better. It's actually a very tactical choice that you can use it for.
It's not just to say, hey, look at the pretty particle effect. It's to say, hey, this is something that greatly impacts gameplay, changes up the what people believe is a multiplayer shooter, and I love that. He jumps in the water, gun host status. Love that.
We have some new, speaking of water, we have some new cool water features. Of course, the whole swimming experience now much better, with both normal swimming but also sprint swim. Where you can swim faster. You can also duck underwater, and you can defend yourself because you use your sidearm while in water. So the water gameplay has improved quite a lot, actually. So
I love
that's really cool.
I think it's a really cool element, to bring into the game. I even like the vehicle speed as well. Like you can drive at normal speed, but you can also make the vehicle go a little bit faster, put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and get to areas quicker. And it really does seem as if the mission this time around, as we watch here, Bravo 24 trying to get down here with that.
He's shooting at a teammate. That's not good.
I think no, I don't know. I think they're enemies. I'm not entirely sure.
No,
they're not.
The blue tags are your teammates. So.
Ah, okay. Well, but here's the thing. Just in talking about this. What I guess in regards to speeding up the action, right? Because everyone was always like, yeah, Battlefield's great, it's a fun game, but sometimes it does take a little while to dive into things, right? This time around, it seemed like you had a mission, and that mission was speed the game up, make it enjoyable. Were those things? Is that critical for you guys moving forward into growing the franchise?
Yes, very much. As you can see, we changed the whole user interface, the whole spawn screen, the whole kill death loop is vastly enhanced. So that's definitely a big part of. Oh,
here we go.
It's going down.
Here we go. And we knew it was going to happen. The skyscraper's got to go down. Everyone's down with it. Look at this here. The carnage and chaos it just brings.
Wow.
Now, this changes up the entire gameplay, right, Patrick?
You can see the wave.
And the wave goes through. Now there's dust all across the map, which is going to make visibility very difficult.
Yes.
But now C is going to be down at the bottom as well.
So the pilots will now have a very different environment to fly in, and only the most skilled pilots will be able to cope with this environment.
Yeah, so you gotta have that keen eye for
and as you said,
destruction.
this flag has completely changed now. Don't shoot your friends.
Oh no! So, actually no, they're green. So I believe
that's your squad.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think, but regardless of the fact, though, I mean, it seems as if there's a lot of cool gadgets to play around with. Had a good time actually messing around with the with just like the customization, right? And I think it's kind of telling that you guys added a lot of things to it, like the canted sky.
Canted sight.
I love that, right? I've never really seen that in a game before. I saw it in the single player. Didn't think it was going to make its way to multiplayer. You guys pleasantly surprised me with that one.
Yeah, there's some really cool features if you go deeper into the game. Again, looking at the customization, there's a lot of things going on there. With you can now select different knives. For instance, you can add more attachments to your guns.
Yeah.
Like canted scopes. You can have flip-up optics, for instance, which is really cool.
Yeah.
We have the whole Chinese army, which adds a lot of variation to both the guns and the gadgets, and of course the vehicles. You can see some really cool Chinese vehicles in here.
A lot of variety.
There's so many new things in the game that you will notice after playing the game for some time. We know that people, when they play Battlefield, they spend a lot of hours in it. So you don't want the game to be too shallow. You want to have this depth that you can figure out as you go along.
Yeah, and when I'm looking at the action and all that stuff that's going on, you can see how dramatically different things have been have changed because of the levolution mechanic that is in the game. This pilot right now dealing with a lot of dust, a lot of debris. Visibility is not as on point as it was prior. And oh man, look at this here, going to be coming down to this tank right there. Nice play by Alpha 02, as he's going to have to scale up on this one. But yeah, so I think that is a pretty cool, mechanic, that levolution thing. It really does change the scope of the game itself, and really, I guess, add variety. Oh, that sucks.
Down.
Now, the other thing I want to ask you about is commander mode.
Yes.
Why bring it back?
I think it's, we're at the time where we think that, commander mode actually adds a lot of value to the players, not only the actual commander play against each other, but also to everyone on the ground. So commanders are, adding a layer of strategic value to the actual commanders, but also a layer of, epic action moments for the people on the ground. The team needs to capture points to give the commander options. For instance, you don't get all your options until you have captured all the control points. So the commander really needs the people on the ground, and the people on the ground really need the commander.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that if you don't care about the commander, it's transparent. It doesn't change the game for you. It just
you can still play the game the way that you want to play it.
Yeah, so it adds a layer of value to those people that care about it.
And then one of the other points that I was particularly taken away by was the use of the commander mode on tablet.
Yes.
I thought that was awesome, right? Because, there are times where I'm probably going to be hanging out in my home, laying on my bed, thinking, what can I do? Well, I can hop on commander mode and just play on my tablet. So, I mean, how was the decision process in implementing that into the game? I mean, that surely must have been difficult.
Yes, we have a tendency to do difficult things at times.
I see that.
We often talk about Battlefield from a very high concept level, not so much what you can do, but what we should do. And then we have to figure that out later on how to actually do it.
Yeah.
Commander mode on tablet it just felt natural. Like, you can play Commander, you play on the same servers as the infantry guys, but you don't really need the fidelity and the detail that that the players that are on the PC or on the console that they need. So tablets might not work from a first-person perspective that well.
Okay.
But Commander mode.
Every single console, they're in all the
That's
best
insane.
PCs, and of course, one of my favorite groups, Astro. You know, with their headsets, gotta love it.
For those of you that are wondering, you see the different camera angles of watching these players play the game. They're wearing those Astro A40s. It's been great to, I mean, I get this chance to be able to see them at some of these major events that are out there. See a lot of the professional players, those who are getting paid to play video games.
Ooh, look at this
I mean,
one.
we're seeing some really good stuff. But as we top on right now, you see Bravo 32. He tried to be able to pick up the kill. I think one of the other players was able to pick up that one.
Yeah, it was still a good rush, though. A good flank, finds one right in front of him, and he is able to connect with that one. I believe he takes him out on that play. So now he's going to go for this long-range action here, fighting for the C territory, obviously the middle area, a very highly contested spot. Of course, you know, this is the building that can collapse down and change the complete dynamic of the map. But look at this guy, Bravo 32, man. Accuracy for days. This guy's he's a boss. Finding two guys in front of him, he's going to go for the shot. He ends up getting taken out. Man, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Good little run that he was going on there, trying to make an attempt. As right now, you see we're on board here with Bravo 31. Spots a tank. Having a little trouble with that.
Yeah, you know, can't quite get the rocket to hit the tank. It's all right though. But in looking now, you can see the Bravo squad is going to be inside, letting the Alpha guys kind of just push around here and you know, make them think, yeah, they're going to be safe. Yeah, definitely. We are going to get this D territory is what they're saying, the D flag. And they're trying to hold this down. You can see the bridge now on the other side.
There's some really key components to think about, too. I mean, whenever you're trying to take over these points, I mean, you've got B, who has the Tomahawk to help out for the commander, giving that offensive abilities to the commander. I mean,
That's right.
C gives you the gunship that you can look out for as well. But right now, you can see right there, you can see that tank is struggling to be able to get by. Why is that? What is he having trouble with on that bridge?
Yeah, can't really get an angle on it, but you could see, though, that this skyscraper is
it's going down
in a bad spot here. It could end up getting taken down. That would make C drop all the way down to the ground floor and minimize visibility. And also, you know, you had mentioned before about that bridge, the bollards. Those are basically things that allow the other team to stop anyone from making their way, advancing their way across the bridge. Love that aspect of it. You know,
so
just some great balance.
Check out this one of the new amphibious vehicles where you see. I mean, look how the casing there. I mean, it's a lot more effective now. I believe you can see the jet ski on the back. So whenever you exit out of this vehicle, you actually exit out utilizing the jet ski. So you're not just a sitting duck. So that's a huge advantage.
And who doesn't like riding on a jet ski?
Oh, man, I had a field day. I tried to tell you earlier that I was riding a motorcycle because how far inland I got with that jet ski.
Man. So let's see here. Skyscraper now is going to be the flag that we're looking at, the C flag. And it seems like Alpha Squad is going to have some control inside.
That's a gutsy move there.
It is, but he is going to have positioning inside, finding a couple of players. It's going to be one up top, too. Finding one in front, he's able to take out Bravo 07, so that's going to be a stop for them, as it seems like they're going to be turning this flag in the favor of the U.S. squad.
There's a great fight right now going on.
Yeah, without a doubt here. And so long as they can maintain this position, they're going to be able to win it. Only going to be one player advancing his way up here. Actually, another one on the roof as well, Corey. So you're actually seeing that the Bravo guys not letting back. They are going to be continuing to push forward. I just don't know if it's smart for them to push over one by one. They should definitely rally together.
Yeah, he finally was taken out there. Now again, we're over here on the seeing what happens on this Bravo side for the Bravo team.
Yeah, and 01 is actually going to dip around the side here. We can see the overhead view as the C is being contested. A lot of Chinese soldiers are going to be blue soldiers.
So insane.
It really is cool. So this is the tabletop view that you're looking at here. And as you can see, that blue is going to be taking over this territory on C. So they're going to win this one eventually, but it is still going to be a very close matchup between these two teams.
All right, so you can see right now they're trying to battle over here in the arcade area. Right now you've got Alpha 08 who spotted one. And that was an aggressive approach, but I guess he's thinking, hey, I'm an assault medic, a combat medic. I might as well just go and hop on down. Of course, he's got full packs there to be able to heal himself, picking up some points there as well. Again, they're working on those ticks. Chinese right now struggling, 598. U.S. side 732. Right now, the U.S. are trying. Looks like they're trying to pick up D right now.
Yeah, you can see a lot of pressure here coming from the bridge. Alpha 07 on your screen here, finding one guy in front of him, a 7 counterpart, as he is going to be able to close this one out. No, he gets picked off. So that is quite surprising as we jump on board with Alpha 20, who's going to be riding in this truck at this point in time. He's going to be advancing his way over to D, trying to get this control. But I don't know what the benefit is of him driving this one in. Probably should keep his vehicle a little farther back and go support the efforts on the ground there.
He's just rocking by. Of course, he's just trying to get through here. Trying to figure out how all-terrain this vehicle really is.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's all-terrain, through this type of landscape.
90-degree angles are not its friend.
Yeah, so again, here's another type of perspective. You get that third-person view. Again, one of the things that I love is all the other types of information that we're getting from it so far. You can see that he's got 2 kills so far. He's died twice in this game. I've been playing pretty well. He's got picks up a lot of points there. Finally, of course, he realizes that he has to utilize the road to get around.
Yeah, the road, a revolutionary concept.
It's mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, yeah. But, yeah, so look at this here is 20 is actually going to have some support inside, and they are going to have that gunner on there. So this is certainly going to be looking pretty good for them as they make their way into D, and they might be able to get this control here. So I'm liking this from the Alpha team.
Nope, back on.
Out for nature. Nature is not your friend when it comes to vehicles. But all right, so looking here, Bravo side, jumping over to the Bravo team as they maintain their control of the east side now.
All right, so right now you can see that they're trying to, they're actually finally working together. You've got 4 members who are going to start heading over here. He spots one long range. Oh, he's going to get taken down as well. We'll kind of cycle around and find some players that are in the action. As right now we're back over here with Bravo 2. Bravo 2 holding back. He's kind of out of the picture, but his squad is spawning right behind him as well, taking complete advantage. One of the things, though, I know is a question out there. One of the things that for Battlefield 3, you only had 4 members in your squad, and of course you had that fifth wheel, if you have, was kind of hanging out. Oh no!
I saw that one happening. I was like, why would you go in the street, bro? Stay alive. Please believe in yourself. He gets picked off, though. That's going to be another player. And look at this here. Bravo.
Hey, don't do it. Don't fall off the edge so I can get my points, bro.
Yeah, right.
Don't commit suicide. I got you.
Well, I like this here. So they are going to be controlling the.
Is that sports on TV?
I think so. I
hey,
think
man,
so.
what do we got on TV right now?
But you want to know what, though? It is the skyscraper is coming down 100% here. You can actually see, though, that there was a little bit of an altercation up top, but it is definitely going to be raining death and destruction. And look at this, Alpha 05, 10 kills, 2 deaths. I like that a lot. Of course, in the armor, in the tank, good positioning, and here comes the skyscraper.
And so for those of you that are questioning, I don't know, I think we mentioned it a couple times so far, but if you're just now tuning in, the one way that you take out this skyscraper, here on Siege of Shanghai, there are 4 pillars that are well defined on the fact that they're unstable, and you can see that 2 highly explosive rockets, you can have some artillery, maybe even some tanks that are shooting at those pillars. Usually takes 2 shots per pillar to be able to take down that skyscraper. And we see how the Levolution has altered the gameplay going into this later part of this map.
Yeah, and again, to bring up the dust that is brought up because the building coming down here, that is the thing that you have to keep in mind, how it just dramatically affects gameplay. Air units are not as effective because of the fact that this dust is surrounding here. And look at this, this lone guy.
Well, that's a smart move, because right now, unless they don't have the flag, right now, this is where the new point exists.
Whoa.
It looks like he's been spotted. He's trying to be able to stay alive. Maybe that might have been his teammates shooting at him. But you got that attack helicopter right there. It's going to nice little air battle that's happening so far. Again, right over where that the rubble is for the skyscraper.
Yeah, and and that is the cool part too, just to see all these moving parts in action. As you can see, the helicopter is trying to get into some some craziness there, but I hear that it is not done. And there, oh, wait a minute though.
Uh-oh, look out. He's going to have some flanking. There's going to be a 3v1 right here up on top of that C flag.
And as we see, you know, the thing that I really did like about that that push there was they came from the sea, right? It was not an airdrop or anything like that. It wasn't anything that would kind of mess them up. They maintained their position, came through the sea. No one expected them.
Great teamwork.
And now they have C. Look at that, the C to get C.
They had three members that worked together. I mean, you had 2th by sea, 1th by land.
Oh my God!
And was able to take out the one member.
2th by sea. Oh man! And another cool thing, you saw that one player actually dive into the water there. We had spoke about it before. There's no like official term for it, but you can swim faster, or as
No, it's a sprint swim.
Sprint swim.
It's official.
And leaderboard there.
Look at that! How different perspective. The ways that you can switch between players.
Yeah.
Can we take another look here? I know that we're kind of watching some of the in-game stuff, but the spectator mode stuff is great. And having the ability to just hot switch. I mean, you saw the tabletop view.
Yeah, actually,
and how you can sit there and select players that are inside the action. Be able to pick a player there. Also, you can look at a player that's doing incredibly well, picking up numerous kills, and watching from their position by going through, holding down the tab, showing the scores, and selecting which player that you want to see at that point. That's just those are great ideas already being put into play in this pre-alpha version of Battlefield 4.
Yeah, we just saw Alpha 4 Michael Phelps his way across the water.
That's pretty quick.
In a very, very quick manner. But yeah, and you could see here, and actually, if you see overhead, you just saw it in the bottom left of your screen there, there's a UAV that's actually circling around. That is done by the commander. Right,
and also the squad unit has actually made, the commander's also made a designated point of where he needs to attack. So again, the commander showing different efforts to help out his squads to make a move. Again, one of the cool things from the commander's perspective, you actually can select each squad that you would like. So if you want your alpha squad to attack the B flag, you select on the alpha squad, and from there you select exactly where you want to go, and you can order them to attack.
Yeah, and the other thing is that this all can be done from a tablet as well. So that's another really cool element there. So as we go ahead and we're switching to different perspectives now, you see Alpha 20 though, he is going to be inside of this, inside of the MRAP, and just actually giving his teammates some much needed cover with this vehicle here, trying to actually take out some players, but Alpha 20 struggling just a little bit.
Trying to get that gunner and the driver to work in unison. As they're kind of flipping back around, but a lot of action that's happening over there towards the east side. Now, this is what we were talking about whenever the skyscraper comes into play. But right now, you can see that you've got the gunship from here from afar. The AC-130 gunship. Again, that was because the fact that they picked up that C flag point.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, to point out was the vision was very, very blurry because of the fact that the dust was kicked up from the building falling down. So that really does change things quite a lot. And you know, while the AC-130 more than you know, it definitely is.
Oh, look out! Counterattack! F. Oh, I don't think that worked on him.
Yeah,
but again, it's just another great perspective. I mean, I had the chance to be able to sit there and talk with Carl Magnus, and he brought up the fact that there's also counterattack. So whenever they're coming back around, you need to look out for yourself. If you're quick enough, if you're hot on the trigger, you can kind of counterattack and hopefully stay alive.
That's really cool. I like that a lot. I actually had no idea that was in there. So that's pretty awesome. Way to go, Corey.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, you know, that's why we're the dynamic duo.
Yeah, but we give a different perspective on both sides. You know, with your console background, really having an understanding of PlayStation 4 and where it's going, and Xbox One and where it's going, and some of the cool things that's going to happen here for Battlefield 4, watching the 64-man servers.
That's right.
You know, it's another great thing. I mean, but a huge shout out real quick to some of the sponsors, some of those that are making things possible. Shout out to Twitch for making things happen here, giving us the ability to stream out there as well. And also, one of the great things too is the fact that you know, Amazon is going to be helping out as well. For those of you that want to pre-order Battlefield 4 now, head on over, make sure you click the tab button, create a new tab, continue to watch the stream, in pre-order Battlefield 4 right now on Amazon.
Yeah, that's right. It's really cool stuff. You know, we're being featured on there. And we also do have some awesome interviews as well all day long. I believe Daniel Petros is coming up next, if I overheard correctly.
Yeah, he's one of the people to talk to there about the spectator mode. We can kind of dive down deep into all the different elements that kind of come into play there.
Yeah, and like I said before when we hopped into this game, I'm so happy for spectator mode.